This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
The United States on Tuesday launched a multinational operation to safeguard commerce in the Red Sea as attacks by Iran-backed Yemeni militants forced major shipping companies to reroute, stoking fears of sustained disruptions to global trade. The Houthi militant group, which controls vast amounts of territory in Yemen after years of war, has since last month fired drones and missiles at international vessels sailing through the Red Sea, attacks it says respond to Israel's devastating assault on the Hamas-ruled Gaza Strip. This week, the attacks began to take a toll on global trade, disrupting a key trade route that links Europe and North America with Asia via the Suez Canal.
Russia remained China's top oil supplier in November despite elevated prices for Russian crude, data showed on Wednesday, as Saudi supply cuts continue. China's imports from Russia, including supplies via pipelines and seaborne shipments, totaled 9 million metric tons, or 2.19 million barrels per day, BPD, last month, according to data from the General Administration of Customs. Russian shipments rose 9% from October's 2.01 million barrels of oil per day, reversing monthly declines in October and September, and were up 15.2% from a year earlier. Russian crude imports for the first 11 months of 2023 were up 22.2%, the data showed.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
The European Union is set to extend its emergency cap on gas prices for another 12 months to serve as a safeguard against possible energy price shocks, after energy ministers backed the plan on Tuesday. The EU first agreed the gas price limit in December 2022, after months of cripplingly high energy prices caused by Russia slashing gas supplies to Europe after its invasion of Ukraine. Europe's energy security situation is more comfortable today than during last winter. Energy prices are far lower. Countries have secured new sources of non-Russian gas, and gas storage is near full.
The U.S. bought 2.1 million barrels of crude oil, the Energy Department said on Tuesday, to help replenish the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR, after the largest sale in history last year. The department said it bought the oil, for delivery in February, for an average of $74.23 a barrel, below the average of $95 a barrel that oil sold for in 2022. The administration of President Joe Biden had conducted sales last year, including a record one of 180 million barrels, to help control oil prices after Russia, a large crude exporter, invaded Ukraine. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. The U.S. bought 2.1 million barrels of crude oil, the Energy Department said on Tuesday, to help replenish the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR, after the largest sale in history last year. The department said it bought the oil, for delivery in February, for an average of $74.23 a barrel, below the average of $95 a barrel that oil sold for in 2022. The administration of President Joe Biden had conducted sales last year, including a record one of 180 million barrels, to help control oil prices after Russia, a large crude exporter, invaded Ukraine.
Shanghai copper prices climbed on Wednesday after a two-session slide, with tighter global inventories, mine supply disruptions and a weaker US dollar supporting the market. The most traded January copper contract on the Shanghai Futures Exchange was up 0.6% at 68,920 yuan, $9,667.96 per metric ton as of 0132 GMT. Earlier in the day, it rose as much as 1.2% to touch a three-month high of 69,270 yuan. The Shanghai market followed a rally in London prices on Tuesday amid mine closures and falling stocks in warehouses approved by the London Metal Exchange, LME.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Ukraine Deputy Prime Minister Oleksandr Kubrakov on Tuesday said that 10 million metric tons of products have been exported to 24 countries through its alternative Black Sea corridor. Kyiv introduced the corridor, which hugs the western shores of the Black Sea, after Russia withdrew in July from a UN-brokered deal to guarantee the safe shipment of Ukrainian grain. From the beginning of the operation, we increased the turnover of products from 278k tons in the first month to almost 5 million tons, Kubrakov said on X social media platform. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.